Wrangler on Wrangler on Wrangler on Wrangler. I love me some. On this care tag it says dry clean only. What are you talking about, Wrangler? In terms of the material, though, that's what I really enjoy about Wrangler and Wrangler 13MWZ is the broken twill. In terms of the coin pocket that I was mentioning, the watch pocket, as a lot of people will want to correct me with. Look what arrived from El Paso, Texas. It's Wrangler. We care. And we in here have a pair of Selvedge jeans. They're like the Wrangler 13MWZ, but Selvedge. Let's check them out. Let's open this up right away. Here we go. First look at the Pro Rodeo, the official Pro Rodeo competition jeans. Wrangler. This is a leather patch. Feels nice. I really like leather. That's my thing. I got the size 31 by 32. We're going to compare these with the traditional non-Selvedge Wrangler 13MWZ, which I have in a 32 by 32. But this was the size available. And I got this at a really good steal of a deal for $99 plus another pair of Filson by Wrangler jeans for $49 because they were 50% off on top of the clearance. So, you know, all in like $160 for two pairs of very unique jeans. But these themselves are $99 essentially, and that's what you should expect to pay, is about $100. And they're made just like the regular ones, except they have a deeper indigo look to them. And let's confirm immediately, these are indeed a broken twill. They're a broken twill, but they're a lighter weight broken twill. They're about a 12.9 ounce. Based on what Wrangler was saying in their customer service question and answer thing, 12.9 ounce approximately, and of course they're raw. So these are sanforized and raw denim. They'll shrink 3 to 5% like all raw denim does. You can see some scratches on the rivets. I do not mind. Not a big deal. 7 belt loops. And yeah, I can immediately tell based on handling this that this is a lighter weight denim than the traditional Wrangler 13MWZ. This is made in Bangladesh. The ones I have from Mexico are the regular ones, non-Selvedge. Mexico, baby. I love them when they're from Mexico, but Bangladesh is okay from what I'm seeing here, as well as what I've seen in the past. Bangladesh is okay, but I prefer Mexico. I ain't gonna lie. I live in New Mexico, so you know. Oh, but you know what's super interesting on this care tag? It says dry clean only. What are you talking about, Wrangler? I ain't gonna just dry clean these, man. You're crazy if you think I'm gonna dry clean a pair of freaking jeans, man. Gosh, I don't give a shit how expensive they are. I ain't gonna dry clean them, but I'll definitely wash them in cold or something. Or, well, I might. It depends, I guess, because these are Selvedge. And so I didn't even look at it yet, but these are Selvedge. So here's the Selvedge, traditional red line Selvedge. I like that. And it is a broken twill. I do like that as well. Wrangler on Wrangler on Wrangler on Wrangler. I love me some Wrangler, even though I just got into them in 2025. It is now barely, what, July 2026 as I'm recording this, the 23rd. These arrived in one business day, by the way. These Wranglers from El Paso, because I live real close. But let's look at the details between these things. Immediately I noticed this bar tacking on the Selvedge pair on the edge of the coin pocket, which a lot of people will try to correct me and call it a watch pocket. And yes, Wrangler themselves even call it a watch pocket. But just because somebody calls it something don't mean that that's what it is, man. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, you don't understand how, gosh darn it. If you look over here, this is bar tacked as well. It's just not quite as long. It's real low key on the Wranglers. By the way, both of these right here and right here at the top are the rigid raw Wranglers, the traditional 13MWZ Cowboy Cuts. This is as well, just in shadow black. I just cut the patch off these two and the W arcuate off this one here. Wrangler calls their raw jeans rigid. That's what that means, in case you didn't know, because a lot of people seem to have some pushback and they say that Wrangler doesn't sell raw denim. What are you talking about? I've been making this content for a while now. I know what the heck I'm talking about. But here we go. If you look at this, this is real shiny compared to the Wrangler one, and I'm pretty sure the Wrangler one didn't shine up like that. The button, yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't shine up. It's just shinier on the Selvedge pair here. Chain stitched on both of these. They both have the 7 belt loops. Interestingly, the belt loops are bar tacked along the chain stitching on the Selvedge pair, but on the regular 13MWZ, the standard one, they're bar tacked slightly below. Yep, it's on all three. Yep, what else? This I immediately noticed, other than the bar tacking being long like that, I noticed that the pocket is also lower. I haven't even worn these yet, but you can tell, even without wearing them, you can see how this pocket kind of curves down this way. This one remains up at the top and kind of hidden. This, I believe, is because of the functionality. What's funny is I have a YouTube short, it's pretty popular, about the worst thing about the Wrangler 13MWZ, and it's the coin pocket, because it gets hidden behind your belt when you have a belt on. It's functional in certain ways, it's just not something I really need. I don't need to hide cash or anything, right? So that's why I don't really like it as much, even though I don't mind it. I actually think the design is great. I just, you know, it's, for me, it's like, it's less functional than other coin pockets. And this one here, well, I mean, that's not, it's, for me, right, in my life, that's what I'm saying, because I do enjoy it. I understand it's hidden, and I think it's great for travel and stuff. So I don't want to like dismiss that. I think it's great. It's just for my lifestyle, this is a little bit harder to get into when I have a belt on, and I always have a belt on. And other jeans don't have that issue, right? Now, when it comes to the Selvedge pair, it looks like they kind of addressed my issue by lowering the thing going in downward in a curve. So you can get in there even if you have a belt on, because as you can see, your belt, even if it's quite a wide belt, it would still kind of allow you to get in, because you can still get through from underneath the belt if it's a wide belt. If it's not a wide belt, it's fine, it'll be up here. You can see the rivet on the left here, it's just kind of flat, because the seam, this seam here on the outside of the Selvedge pair is not the same. Wrangler flips the seams. On a typical pair of Levi's, this will be on the inside of the jean, right? Whereas, as you can see here, on the inside of the jean, it's like a hidden seam. It's a flat seam. Feels better, I suppose, but on this one, it's both. And why does it make sense? Because these are Selvedge. It makes sense because these are Selvedge. This is what's going to be most enjoyable for most people, is the fact that these are darker denim, darker indigo. If you look at these ones here, these are raw. I haven't washed these at all. I've worn them a lot, but I haven't washed them at all. Here on the left. And the Selvedge ones, a lot of people prefer that indigo shade, and I do as well, I would say. As you can see down here, oh, a little bit dirty. Y'all sending me out some cruddy jeans, huh? You got shit on it already. Gosh darn. Well, gosh darn, you lucky I ain't a picky boy. The tags are different. That's another different thing. Made in Mexico, and it has a tag on the crotch part there, crotch placket. This one, it's clean. No selvage, like on a beautiful pair of Wearloom jeans. The selvage is on both sides, and that makes a lot of difference in terms of the pricing. The rivets are different on the inside as well. These are a little bit hollow here, whereas on these ones, they're kind of like solid, like very thick. But these ones don't really feel dainty or anything like that. They're definitely solid. Buttons different. Stitching is quite sloppy, I would say, around here. Quite sloppy looking, as you can just see where the belt loops are attached, whereas on the other Wranglers, they do it below the chain stitch. But not too bad. This is more of a Bangladesh thing, in my opinion. Sloppiness. I think Mexico does it right, baby. What's up? Oh, yes. Here we have the Wrangler 13MWZ SEL. That's 13MWZ Selvedge. These fit similarly to the standard 13MWZ, but I would say that they fit maybe a little bit lower in the rise, because I can kind of tell if I start to squat and stuff like that, that there's a little bit less room up here. We'll be able to tell through the measurements. Check out Splished.com, where I'll have a full written review of these jeans with measurements as well. I usually don't measure these things during these video reviews because I don't script these things. I just kind of do my first impressions, unbox the thing, wear them. Sometimes I do it over several weeks, it depends, but usually it's just a few days that I record these videos. Zero scripting, so that's why I usually write on my website that I developed myself. I'm a web developer, for those that don't know, and this is one of my most fun hobbies, I would say, is things like the Wrangler 13MWZ, which I just got into last year, 2025. It's 2026 right now. I was never really a Wrangler guy. Now I'm wearing Wrangler Selvedge along with vintage made in USA, baby. Beautiful pearl snap Western shirt. In terms of the coin pocket that I was mentioning, the watch pocket, as a lot of people will want to correct me with, you actually can, like I mentioned, get into this thing with your belt on. So if you have about a 1.5 inch belt, you can get into there. If you have a 1.75 inch belt, it'll effectively be a lot like the standard 13MWZ, where you can't get into there unless you take your belt off or there's enough slack where you can kind of, get yourself in there. In terms of the pocket space, about the same size. The pockets feel similar. They feel like they're softer, the pocket bags, compared to the 13MWZ. They have this kind of nice texture on them, slightly off-white. And a lot of people are probably going to mention the coin pocket thing where the rivet is actually not aligned with this end of the coin pocket, right? So it's actually bar tacked underneath there, and it's aligned with the belt loop. So the belt loop is what actually bar tacks this coin pocket, versus on the standard jeans where the rivet is actually what locks that down on that inner side. And then on the outer side, both of these are bar tacked, the 13MWZ standard one and these Selvedge ones, but these are bar tacked in a more obvious way using contrast style stitching. These are the size 31 by 32. Check out my everything about Wrangler 13MWZ video if you don't know anything about Wrangler, because you'll learn why these are some of my favorite jeans, even though I own Japanese denim, Italian denim, I own a lot of different things, and I've lived a long life, and I do think Wrangler has just a really good kind of price point and, value to price. Basically the value is good, is what I'm getting at. But the thing is, it's not going to be like something like an Ironheart where you're going to get all the insane nice details, because you can see some sloppiness in this, especially made in Bangladesh. Man, these Bangladeshi people, they ain't on the level of Japanese, in terms of craftsmanship, and because of also pay. But still, that is what you're paying for when you're buying higher quality, high-end things. And when you're buying things made in Bangladesh, it's going to be a little bit lower quality, but it's not going to last any less. That's a key point I want to make, is that just because it's a little bit lower quality in terms of the stitching being slightly off, it doesn't make the durability any lower. It just means it's just like not as premium of a craftsmanship, and that's something I do value, but at the same time I also value good value. But yeah, these are the Wrangler 13MWZ Selvedge edition. I'm really liking them. Let me cuff them, because I guess that's the thing you kind of do with Selvedge. I don't really cuff too much, and here we have a single cuff. I'm not a cuffer. I prefer to just kind of have my jeans completely straight, especially when the weft is not the same color as the warp, which means it kind of breaks the leg, right? Which makes the leg look a little bit shorter, which isn't a huge issue. But, I just prefer kind of that smooth, clean, long line. But yeah, these are Selvedge. They got the Selvedge line on there. And in terms of dry clean only in the tag, no way. No way. Don't dry clean your jeans. I'm sorry. Maybe there are some of you that dry clean your jeans out there, but it's like, why? Wash them in cold and line dry them if you really want to take care of them. And otherwise, you don't actually have to wash them that often. I know for a lot of people that sounds gross, but it's not as gross as you think it is. In terms of the material, though, that's what I really enjoy about Wrangler and Wrangler 13MWZ, is the broken twill. This broken twill is just so unique, super rugged. Even at this 12.9 ounce, this is going to be way more durable than something like a Levi's 501 shrink to fit, which is thinner. I have two pairs inside. They're thinner than this 12.9 ounce. I think those are more like 11.9. And with Wrangler, the broken twill is just really nice when it breaks in. My oldest pair, which is maybe coming up on a year and a half old now, that pair feels so nice. I was hesitating because I was going to call it like a pair of pajamas, but Obviously, that's a bit of hyperbole. I do think they're super comfy. A left-hand twill like a Lee jean would be a little bit more comfy in terms of pajama-like feel. Left-hand twill is just going to be a little bit more comfy. Right hand is going to be the least comfortable, but you know, these are all just subjective little things. Like in terms of right-hand twill, broken twill, and left-hand twill, there's some objectiveness to it, of course, in terms of like the stiffness of the right hand twills versus the more loose flowiness of the left hand twills. That's a thing, and the broken twill is actually kind of in between those two. For me, yeah, I mean, I think I really enjoy broken twill. I haven't experienced a lot of it, but I have experienced a lot of a Wrangler broken twill, and it's just amazing. I also have the jackets as well, not just the shirt. This shirt isn't broken twill, but I have the jackets, which are broken twill, and the Selvedge jeans are broken twill. I'm wearing them with some Red Wing 2015 Huntsman boots. These were limited edition in 2015. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm not saying that these are amazing jeans, but they're not too bad for $99 because Selvedge jeans, if you're looking online, I mean, what's the cheapest Selvedge jeans? I would recommend Gustin. Gustin's one of the most affordable brands you'll find, but this is still way cheaper. If you just kind of want to get into an entry level and you want something similar to what you're used to, like you have a Wrangler 13MWZ, you like the fit, you like the look, this is the way to go. This is the next step up. Check out Splished.com. Check out the YouTube channel membership. It helps a lot if you join. I have been Brian. This has been Splished. You have been you.